this particular course or micro-credential course and be awarded some recognitions or badges. So that is what I'm going to talk about today. It's more on the structure, how it can help us to build our course if we are interested to come up with our own micro-credentials later, and we are actively seeking the course developers throughout the college, throughout the research institutes as well. And we are very glad to say that we manage well with the roadshow to each and every single college and also institute. So let's not just waste time on this front page. So let's look into what we have here. Right. Okay, so this is the first thing that you might want to know about. So what are micro-credentials? So the layman term will be a nicer, specific term that we're going to use. It's going to be bite-sized credentials. So when we say micro, it's actually the size. And when it comes to the credentials itself, it's actually the badges or perhaps the term of recognition. Okay, when you have already learned and you already picked up a skill, for example, then we are going to say that you may be competent. But how do we recognize, how do we know that you're competent? So this is where the credentials comes in. So perhaps you're going to be having to sit for an examination and later on be awarded with such badge or credentials. And that makes that particular course credit bearing at the end of the day. So bite-sized credentials here, it must be short. Okay, if you can remember, if we are offering our very full-fledged conventional program, so take for example, so I'm coming from College of Engineering, Department of Electrical Engineering. So we offer BEE or Bachelor of Electrical Engineering, Electronics. So from there, it's going to be 4 years, okay, for the students to complete. And of course, you can choose to have that and wait until the end of the year or after the 4 years to get your scroll. And you are recognized as having qualified as an electrical engineer, for example, by qualification. But how is it going to be better if we move away from that very full-fledged concept, because you need to wait very at the far end later? How about looking into designing that particular conventional course already that is already there, and you're going to take a bit of it and design it to just accommodate a few topics. So you're putting like what we have from the big scale version of the program and try to put it down to a smaller unit of size. That is actually micro-credential that we're looking for. I'm going to share with you some of the illustration, okay, in just a bit. And let's look more into this. So when it is actually yes, okay, this is actually an idea, but I have to take something from the test, okay? Maybe, yeah. Let's start with something. Okay, you're not going to see everything here. Okay, so what do you see here? You see a Lego set, yeah? So this is the complete conventional program that you have. Now, when we talk about micro-credential, it's just as easily as having, oh dear. Okay, yep, easily as having a chunk of that particular conventional program. So you're just having some bits there. And if you get to collect all the bits, that is actually the program, the full-fledged program I'm talking about. So when we have this particular size courses, for example, so if you happen to only take one topic, second topic, the third topic, this is what we are going to see. You can take this one first, you can take this later, or maybe this third piece, but they're off in no particular order. And then when you decide to be recognized in terms of your skill, what can you do? You're going to take it, stack it together. Okay, you're seeing something? And it is going to be just joining again to become a more meaningful program. So this is a program. So these little bits are going to be the courses. Yeah, so that is actually the stackable definition. So I'm going to put this thing back, okay? right? And of course, when it comes to having a smaller bits of information or the topics of that particular course, it is much easier and more convenient for us to look for industry relevant kind of recognition. So take for example, I'm doing something on networking. So already at our department, we have Huawei. So what do we do? So we have to design a smaller topic or a smaller chunk of that 3 credit hour course. Take 1 credit hour, and then you're going to put it, into design and put it online and let the learners come in. But at the end of the day, once the learner have already completed the course, it means that not only that the learner will get a badge, we are saying that they can also be recognized by the industry. So say, for example, I'm tagging Huawei to get along to also collaborate with me to make my particular micro-credential becoming more recognized and sorted. So this highly sorted. So this industry relevant kind of collaboration should be what we need to think about when designing our micro-credential. So it's not just as easy as having to create a micro-credential based on cooking. Okay, pick a recipe. This is how you make pizza. No, so that is something else. But in order for Uni 10 to be recognized or be visible as the Energy University, I would recommend that every single one of us to look into energy related courses. And perhaps I'm not doing um, anything energy. Of course, neither do I. Why? Because I'm more into networking and computing. But somehow, can I move to energy related stuff or thing to be put into the course? I think you can imagine you need to maybe explore further and try to make it as attractive as it can be and instill the element of energy theme into your course. So that is how we can tweak a bit onto having it more recognized and as well to also create visibility. Right. So let's look into the next one. This is very, very important when it comes to the types of micro-credentials. So let's try to sip some coffee. Why does it need to become so serious, isn't it? So let's talk about the types of micro-credentials. There are 3 types basically. So let me just go through here. So once upon a time, you might have heard about Digital Learning Center embark in this new program initiative. So we call that the Digital and Flexible Learning. And from there, DLC had focused on 3 types of digital courses offering. One would be the micro-credential. The second one would be MOOC or Massive Open Online Course. And the third one would be Open and Distance Learning, Open Distance Learning or ODL. So now the university is moving forward to actually try to move fast. When we say moving fast, we are not going to concentrate so much on that very, very much a full-fledged of a conventional program to convert to another long program like ODL, but we are going to just focus on something which is coming down or coming up as the smaller topics. Okay, so this one is more manageable and it's even more convenient for us to design. That is category 1. Once upon a time, we look and take so much focus on unbundling the micro-credential coming from the original course of your conventional program. So this would be what we have, okay, ventured into. And also, Category 2 is currently not applicable at Uni 10 because it needs to work with other mm, higher learning institution or HLI. So this one, for information, perhaps I can just disclose, yeah. After all, it's just casual. we are working with our GLU partner universities to come up with our own micro-credentials. And later on, if we decide that it's ready to be launched, and that one will go further up into becoming a master's program. And later on, the third one is actually the topic or the issue that I'm talking about now, which is the standalone MC, which is standalone. So what is standalone? The term standalone, we can actually have that definition saying, it's going to be independent. At least standalone, you are with your friends, and then if you are kind of separated from your friends, then you are going to be alone, a loner. So you are a standalone person. So that is the standalone MC. So what does it convey? For being standalone, it is not going to be like category one. Category one is unbundling. What you have in a conventional program must be the mirror of your micro-credential. If you decide that you have this kind of assessment in the bundled program, which is the full-fledged conventional program, it must be of the same case for your micro-credential course, meaning it's an exact mirror of that particular course that you're offering. But for standalone MC, we provide flexibility. So it says here, this one is designed to meet the workforce need for new knowledge. So we can actually look to tap on the potentials of having to upskill. So that is where we are going to talk more about the potential of MC to be able to get the learners to be upskilled, more competent, and also try to try to gain knowledge. So meaning if I collect one piece just now, so again, I'm going to the Lego piece, yeah? One piece. I know how to program in C. Another piece. I know how to program in Python. And just remember, if you collect so much of this particular information, what will you become one day? You might be as well going to be known as a programmer. Why? Because you have already gotten, not really a good word, yeah? You already have obtained all the essential skills. So already I'm seeing a list, kind of excited because the list is actually growing. On CCI, for example, they are moving into anything related to computer science, computing, programming. So we kind of see that this would be some of the potential micro-credential course. Standalone, again, I forgot to say something about standalone, being independent from this particular category one, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have to have its own structure. Just like any particular MC with its own course outcome, course learning outcome, okay, to cater for the program outcome later on, your standalone MC will be having, most of the time, we are going to see that it is related to competency. Okay, so perhaps we can also call it as the competency outcome. So that is one idea of what we are moving into. Not tied to the original program or the one that has been approved by the MQA, but the standalone itself needs to undergo another process, and we call that the verification process to be able to be recognized by the MQA. So that will be of a different topic, yeah? Okay, so those are the types of micro-credential. Now, to look into this, for unbundling of the MC, this is what I've already talked about from the full-fledged program. Now we are going to deep dive into looking to the course. So the lecturers are teaching this kind of course. And then it goes down to the topic. Okay, in the course, there are many topics. But which topics that you would like to introduce as your micro-credential would be very critical because this will shape into the design module. So say for example, if you choose topic 1 and then you go right to the end, topic 10, and then get them together, so it wouldn't make a good flow of the micro-credential course. So might as well try to see. If you sit back and relax because it's supposed to be casual, think about have your course, take the first 2 weeks, take the first 4 weeks, and think about it. What do you have? Have you much information that you want to create or enough or sufficient to create a module? Okay, 4 weeks of lessons. And try to think about it. I need to be able to mirror whatever that comes from the conventional program to be a good, equivalent, okay, to the micro-credential. So this is actually bringing out a chunk, okay, from this whole program, right? And of course, this one is actually needed to go to the MQA for certification, recognition, okay, or approval, right? So there is a system that we need to register later on. And then when we talk about the module, it doesn't stop there. We really need to jump into looking the whole structure. So look into the whole structure. I believe your courses must have, ought to have all this course learning outcome. And from there, you need to sit down and see closely how am I going to pack them together. Okay, so for example, CLO is course learning outcome or course outcome. This course outcome should be catering for only 2 topics. So it's kind of specific. All right. Some course learning outcome is mapped to a few topics. So it's okay. As long as you are very clear of what you're doing, of what they are mapped to, then we don't have any problem. And from there, the topic would be expanded more into a few modules. So this is what currently we are looking at. So the course outcome, having a few topics, for example, here, okay, and then you're going to have topic 1 being chunked even more smaller into module 1, module 2, module 3. Okay? But up to a certain extent, topic 2 seems to be unbalanced a bit. Why? Because you can only manage to get a whole module 4 and module 5. Cannot be module 6. So meaning they may create some imbalance in terms of the structure. Never mind. Why? Because you know at the end of the day, when you collect them all, this is not Pokemon, yeah? When you collect module 1, module 3, and module 3 together, they can be back propagated and packaged again as topic 1 and topic 2 be packaged together, becoming or supporting the course learning outcome number 1. So that is how you need to design your micro-credential. So do you get the idea? All right. So you're not just listening to me. So try to tone down a bit. Do you have any questions? So just throw me some questions. So I'll be looking into the chat. If you do have anything, you can always put it on the chat. All right. Do you have anything to ask? Okay. So this is where you can throw your questions. Okay. Until there's questions for me to take, then I'm going to just go through what I have here. Okay, so let's look into the next one. Okay, so that's pretty much the wordings, yeah? Okay, now let's talk about how. Okay, so I have this micro-credential course. What do I do about this? Supposed to be online, or is it going to be, oh, I only got the idea that micro-credential is actually being delivered online. No, that's not the case. So let me rectify that micro-credentials, although they are actually being offered online most of the time, it doesn't mean that it's supposed to be delivered online fully. You get the idea. You thought that you have the impression saying it must be online. Okay, so take for example, maybe I'll just go later exploring with you the Uni10 open learning page. But the idea is that we do not limit our micro-credential course into just online delivery. So to talk about this. It's very interesting. Why? Because I'm just going to throw you with some what ifs. Okay. So there are 3 delivery modes for now. If you go fully online, that means you're going to be much more convenient to follow the class because you don't have to go to Uni 10, for example. You don't have to meet the lecturer. The lecturer has already prepared all the design course at the platform. Number 3, you only take the assessment. You don't have to come to Dewan Sarjana. You don't have to go to examination center to take your assessment. Everything seems to be okay or being settled with online. So that would be the first one. That's online. But can it be, how about, can it be fully, let me say, face to face or being physical? Can that one be also termed or defined as being a micro credential course? Of course. Okay. Micro credential course, of course. So you can do that. Why? Because, say, for example, um, you are keen to know about the basics of swimming. You don't want to take swimming lessons, yeah? So, okay, so what do? Okay, you browse the catalog, you browse the platform, and then you stumble upon, there's a micro-credential course talking about swimming. But you don't think about swimming as being something which is offered online. So you need to be able to understand they offer that. They market that particular micro credential as of a course online. Okay, that the advertisement is online, but you have to come to Uni 10, for example, to get the swimming lesson at the swimming pool, right? So that is something that you can think about. Yes, oh, micro credential is also possible to be offered as face-to-face or physical. So that is the case of, okay, if you already have this confusion, so I hope to clarify, you can have micro credential, which is, okay, physical or face-to-face, just by having that one cute example, taking swimming lessons via micro credential. So that is one legit kind of example. And we do have that at UTM. Okay, and also we also have blended learning. Okay, so we are very much well versed, I guess, with blended learning. But what can we do with this blended learning? So the idea is that, oh, partially is online, and another one that I have to come to campus. Yes, exactly, you're right. So that kind of concept will be there for your micro credential if you decided to become blended learning mode. So let me just go through to give you some ideas, yeah, on how this is possible. So MC1, MC2, MC3 referring to the type, and then you have these titles, just make up titles, delivery mode or method. So if you intend to have everything as lectures, okay, don't worry, don't limit yourself to, oh no, I can't do this because everything is going to be, written exam. I need to do presentation in class, and you need to be very creative when you want to figure out the design or actually converting whatever teaching learning activities that you normally do in classes as being face to face, convert it to online. So that would be regarded as the online delivery. So suggesting, say for example, our friends from CCI, they're kind of interested to do something on digital, for data sciences topics, data analytics, for examples, or maybe programming. How can they do that? They can design this particular course using some video lectures, and then maybe the one that you might be thinking about would be the teaching and learning activities. How do I do that? Most of the time, I bring the students to the computer labs, okay, for hands-on activities, but don't limit yourselves to that. You can always do some lab assignments, okay? Focus on that, give some instructions. And of course, say for example, if it to be Python programming, you don't have to ask them to install maybe locally to the computer. Just look for some resources or maybe readily available online platform for you to use. So this one makes your course much more interesting if you have it going to be having the content, and then um, try to get some learning activities in between, followed by some discussion, and then goes down with some assessment. So that is actually a bit on the design of your content later on. What I'm talking about here is that this is one example of online, how to do that, yeah? And face-to-face, just like swimming class, yeah? So if you have anything like, okay, this is an advertisement for the micro credential offered by Uni 10, but swimming. Okay, where do I have this? You have to come to complete the course in special semester, 7 weeks. Okay, so you design that course for face-to-face. And then at the end of the day, what do you do? Do you get a scroll? No, you don't get a scroll. You just need to have somewhat like a recognition. So we give you like a certificate. Usually after completion of this course, you're going to get a certificate. I know how to float myself. And then later on, you're going to just get the digital badge. Okay, so you're going to get this, just like, can I say, scout, okay, Boy Scouts. So you have that. Last but not least here, for the micro-credential for blended learning. So say, for example, you wish that you want to showcase, okay, your laboratory. So we have this, okay, at this particular block at COE. So I really want the learners to come halfway, okay, after learning all the theories. Why did you come to Unit 10 for, say, for 4 weeks, okay, to complete the course in the lab, hands-on, and then get them ready for a certification. So you can think about that, having theories, okay, let them do at their own pace, and then given, say, for example, I'm going to have this September for the students to come to the lab and finish the lesson. So you can do that. Okay, so technically speaking, that is blended learning. So it's a mixture, yeah? All right. Okay, so pretty well. I hope that you get some clarification on this. Now, let's talk about what makes a meaningful micro-credential. So it's not just as easily as, okay, I want to create a micro-credential course. Okay, so how am I going to celebrate your idea there? It must be meaningful. At least the student learns something. So here we are going to talk about the student learning time for micro-credential. So of course, I believe when we design our courses, especially when it comes to the conventional program, yeah. So what do? We always think about the students. Okay, say for example, 3 credit hour course. What do you have? 3 credit hour course means that 3 hour dedicated time for that particular week for the students to get into the classroom and do all your lectures and also participate in your activities, and maybe you're going to have tests during that week. 3 hour, okay, contact hour, right? Then what happens next? Where do they go? It's interesting, isn't it? So when we talk about student learning time, learning doesn't only take place in the classroom, and of course, it's going to be done outside of the classroom as well. But most of the time, you're going to see by observation. If they come to class for 1 hour listening to you or do the learning activities, it is advisable for the students to double their time for learning or revision or discussing. So that is actually not really a rule of thumb, but usually we can say that an estimation, 1 hour in class, about 2 hours outside. And that relates to the student learning time here. For micro-credential, if it to be online, so that is also an estimation for us to do the design. How much do you think is enough for a micro-credential course to be meaningful, such that we want the students to have learned something, or at least know about a new knowledge, have already picked up the skill? How do you do that? So for this, the student learning time, I'm not going to dwell on this because it's supposed to be light and easy casual chat, but you just need to notice that, you can't run away from SLT because you have these slides. Okay, you can always be creative, put some nice slides. And then you can also offer forums, and then put that little nice videos, or maybe you can conduct webinars. Okay, say for example, this Saturday at about 10 a.m., everyone come online. So you can always do that. And do some case study in the case for COGS. Okay, so they have that kind of okay, the way that they have the learning activities, okay, reading articles. You can do that. Assign the students with some articles, read about it, what you get from that article, do a summary, and maybe discuss later about some topics related to this article. You can do that. So these are the time estimations. So if you can see from here, if you spend 1 minute, it's always double for the SLT. Okay. That's the delivery method. How about the assessment method? It's pretty much the same, but a bit different. So you cannot model, okay, by a simple y equals to mx plus c. Okay, unlike this one, you can see 1 to 2, and 1 to 2. Yeah. So this one is quizzes, and you have 1 minute and 2, 3 minutes. So just imagine if it would be like 5 minutes quiz. Yeah. So it's going to be thinking about that particular students, okay, having 15 minutes to prepare, to attempt, and also to think about it. where have I gone wrong? Okay, so that is the quiz that you're going to look into, right? You can also have video assignment if you're creative enough, but again, light and easy for today, just to get something out of it. To design the micro-credential course, need to be at least, what is it? 1 credit hour, about 40 notional hours of SLT, something like that. Yeah. Okay. So the best thing that I can share with you will be to imagine of the first 4 weeks of your class. So that would be like how you would want to design your micro-credential course. Okay. And say, for example, you want to have another micro-credential course for this year. Wow. Then you're going to work out that 2 credit hour, another 40 notional hours of SLT. So that's how it looks like. So that means you're going to come up with the 5th, 6th, 7, and 8 weeks. Yeah. So your micro-credential course will be complete in time. You're supposed to be having a reference here. So this one has been, this particular SLT is based on the Garis Panduan Micro-Credential UKM 2023. So if you want to read more, KFL or DLU can provide the references to you at the end of the day. Yeah? At the end of the day, not at the end of this particular talk. All right, so pretty much know about the benefit of micro-credential. I'm not going to dwell into this anymore because once the learner get into your micro-credential course, that means they have all the time in the world to complete at their own pace. Whether or not they learn something, you have to tie them back into the assessment. Do some quizzes. Did you know this one is this and that? Yeah, try to get some measurements of this particular knowledge, right? Whatever they have collected from your class or course. Okay, so because I intend to have this micro credential talk, okay, because now it's only August, not only in August, we should be starting in no time. So these are the micro credentials offered at Uni 10. These are the types, potentially. Okay, we look into the first one. What's the first one? Micro Master Program, what is that? So for MicroMaster program, it is something like you can think about having a smaller or electives. All right, micro credential is very small. One bit of Lego part. Okay, I'll just bring this Lego so that you can imagine. This Lego part is going to be treated as an elective and then plug it into your conventional master program. So that is very much flexible, isn't it? You can move it away, you want it or you don't want it. So it's pretty much independent of itself. Okay. Next, we have professional certificate program. You can do that because remember just now about the programming. I know Python, I know C++, I know Java. Wow. Imagine you put them all together, then you're becoming, at least you are skilled, okay, with this kind of competency. So you learn to be packaging them together. So those goes with the Lego blocks that are already here. Next, you need to know we can't run away from the energy theme program. Why? Because we want to be visible. We want to be that numero uno for energy themed university. So of course, we need to align our micro-credential courses to support anything with SDG 7. What is what is that? What is that? What is SDG 7? Can somebody tell me? Now we get interactive. Okay. I can be very tired when it comes to talking alone. Anyone who wish to say anything about SDG 7? If you're shy, you can put it there at the meeting chat. Anyone? Okay, so I'll put it on the chat. What is SDG 7? Don't worry. What is SDG 7? Ta-da!
Affordable and clean energy.
Who's that?
It's Wahida here, Jana.
Yes, Dr. Wahida. Yes, yes, you're right. It has got the energy in that.
Yeah.
Yes. So what do we do about that? SDG 7. Why can't it be SDG 4? SDG 4 is quality education. Isn't it Uni 10? So Uni 10, education, SDG, number 4. No. This is something to do with the energy thingy. So that one would be somewhere in your micro-credential. If it's not there, it's going to be in the elective course. If it's not there, it's going to be in the professional certificate program. If it's not there, even, where can you put it? In this in your not in your industrial training, you can't do that. Maybe you can instill some, okay, but mostly you're going to be very, very much roping in that energy in that SDG 7. So how do you do that? Okay, so the idea is that to have this energy theme package. So when we talk about energy, there's a lot of things. Although your particular background is not energy related, but you can always work together with other colleagues to get this done. Okay, so we are proud to say that Unit 10 has somehow been invited by My Digital by Open Learning to offer the literacy program on energy literacy program. So that one I can share with you when we get to the open learning platform. Yeah, so how is it now? Okay, so much that we have already talked about. Maybe we can go further. No, sometimes it's just not there. Ah, it goes one by one. Let's move on. Okay. So this is what we talked about just now. So just to give you an example, this is how you can design your master's program, because master's is a bit, we provide leeway or flexibility when it comes to designing your elective. So this one is like plug and play. So it can come from anywhere. Okay. So this is very generic. Any kind of master's program, you do have this like, you need to spend like 9 credit hour for the core course. It's there, it's fixed, unless you are going to revise it. And then the elective courses placed here can be more fun or exciting when it comes to having these particular courses. So you have your MC1, MC2, MC3. So just imagine that you have, okay, tomorrow we have another technology. Why don't we venture into that? Let's try to MC that. Then it's going to be plugged into the master's program. So it becomes more attractive when we want to sell it to the learners. So this is one idea. I'm bundling from short course. Remember when I talked about the professional certification program? So I'm showing you again. This is how it looks like. Remember the Legos with the programming, the skills? So if you have this, say for example, okay, it doesn't, okay, you can imagine that it doesn't like, it's not to happen like this, okay, in just an overnight, okay? It's not going to happen overnight. It's not just going to happen in a day. So the thing is that we can strategize. So if you have some plans, yeah? So you have to work with your micro-credential, the first one is done. Learners comes in, wait for another 6 months, and then you think that I'm going to offer another micro-credential course. Think about the topic. Okay, it's done, and then you're going to market that. Another 6 months, learners comes in, and then you decide that, okay, I have another course. Make it 3 courses now altogether. It seems like they are okay to be packaged together, and then you can come with this professional certification program. So that means in any particular order, the learners can just pick up of their liking. And perhaps today I want to do MC number 2 first, prior to MC1 is just fine. In no particular order, but later on, after how many months is now, I said? 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. About 1.5 years, yeah? Oh, I've already completed everything. So what do I do now? So I'm going to have to be awarded by, okay, the awarding institution in the case here, Unit 10, you're going to have that program. So you have, say for example, in this case, fundamentals of data analysis. What can you do with this? Is it going to offer anything? Is it beneficial enough? You have to think about it. We say it is professional certification program. Wouldn't it be better if we can collaborate with outsiders or perhaps the industry or any professional bodies? This might work well if you are going to market this as a whole program. Now, after 1.5 years, you already have learners and already one cycle for this particular program. That means you are very much stable enough to look into venturing with any collaborators. So this is part of the strategy that we think that we can have for this program. Yeah, that is one Unit 10 will be doing. Um, okay, so what about this one? This one is actually when we talk about the energy transition program. Think about it. We are supporting the energy transition initiative. Soon enough, we are going to have many people or the public become interested in energy themed kind of program. So in our case, for micro-credential, is the fastest that you can reach out to the global public learners. So when we see this, how about having to package or maybe come up with small topics, which is kind of, okay, light and easy maybe. So you're going to cater for beginners. You can start with that. And later on, if you have more time, you're going to develop another micro-credential course. Let's call that intermediate. And later on, you think that, okay, how about having some solar? Is there any solar here? Okay, photovoltaic system here. Okay, PV. So solar PV installer, maybe. Okay, so it's kind of a job, isn't it? So people are looking into this. They are going to be rooting for this particular course because it offers such particular certification. At the end of the day, I'm going to be a certified solar PV installer. So think about that. Many small topics, and then get them together, top that with some collaborations, and then be recognized with the industry. So that is also part of the strategy that I think we should be looking at. Okay, so we are in this together. That's how we say. All right, so let's look into whatever that is going to be happening. It's time for us to look into our open learning. Okay, so let me just share with you what we have here. Okay, so this is open learning, but can you find it this here? There. Yeah, put it on the chat. So what do you have? Okay, watch videos. This is actually something else, yeah. Okay, so where's my mouse? Ah, so we are very happy because we begin to have more and more micro credentials. Okay, there are many in the pipeline, and this is what we have. Remember when I said you want to design something? Okay, make it beginner and then intermediate and then advanced. You can do that. Okay, basically this is one of them. Introduction to HTML is just actually offering one unit. Okay, just at a smaller bit. Okay, and we take it as like 38 ringgit. So it's attractive price and then it's affordable for the learners to come in. Yeah. Okay, so this one is for the students who wants, I mean, it's not actually catered it's for lifelong learners anyway. It's for students as well. We have this Asas Lita Electric. We also offer in Malay. Okay, so you can do this in Bahasa Melayu. All right. So it's very important that you take one topic. Which one do you want to focus? Right? Introduction. So you can do that, yeah? Okay. Even some maths can be attractive to some learners. Okay, let's talk about energy. So we have this already, Introduction to Energy and Computing. Okay, so we have creative thinking. This one is from CSAT, and this one is from COE for maths. And we do have physics. Okay, Mr. Rahmat here is our HOU for digital learning unit. He also has one particular, not only one, yeah. He had this course, okay, micro credential. And Asas Lita Electric is also done by Mr. Rahmat. So yes, so that is kind of achievement that we can see. Meaning we can do this. Okay, and how can you do this? Together, we are going to support you. All right, so already we have some structures. We have the HOU of digital learning. We revive that, okay, at the colleges. And then KFL is going to work through the HOUs. And then we reach out to the course developers at the college, yeah? Right, what else? Technical communication. So this one is coming from CSAT. Energy related course. So energy. Okay, so this is engineers in society. Dr. Hyrule, energy and computing. That one's from CCI, energy. Okay, energy in society. So this is more on the policy makers. So you can also have this in management, digital marketing. That is from UBS COBA. So pretty much a lot. You can also think about offering something on language. You can pick up Mandarin if you want to. Wait, not pick up, create. Okay. Okay, so we have this was MOOC. Okay, MOOC is the extended MC. Can we say that? A longer version for Unit 10, yeah? So now we are concentrating on MC. So that is the clean cut definition. So MC part 1, part 2, part 3. So you can imagine if you combine them all, then you're going to get the full exclusive recognition for the Japanese language for beginners. So we might be waiting for intermediate later, who knows. And also we have this integrated new skills. So most of them are coming from very, very different part of the colleges. And yep, so you might want to know what's inside, yeah? Let me see. Okay. Let me just showcase Asas Lita Electric if you want to. Yeah. Is it okay? Okay. While doing that, I hope Mr. Rahmat doesn't mind. This is how it looks like. Okay, okay, there's no magic. This is micro-credential course on basic electric circuit analysis. It's not analysis anyway, it's just asas lita, the circuit itself, electric circuit. So you can design, okay, in any way, but let me introduce to you, it's not that complicated anyway. So there's always something like okay, I mean, a welcoming address, okay, to the course, about the information of the course, say hello to your learners. It's always on the landing page or the first page. Then you click the learning activities. This is what you can see. Remember the diagram that I've shown you? Course. Going down to what? Topics. Remember? Topics. Then you get modules. So this is actually what has been portrayed at the Open Learning. So Open Learning is actually the platform for our micro-credential courses. Okay, you click here and then you're going to be brought forward to what you want to learn, yeah? Okay, so say for example, this is learning activity. This is the course. The course, topic, under the topic, you have module 1, module 2, module 3. Okay, it's up to you. Basically, it's just the definition, the terms. Okay, we want to simplify them. So course, we have modules and then a few topics. So that one should guarantee that you are about okay to fulfill the requirement of meeting the course outcome. So there are many. Okay, so this is very, very clean cut way of offering or designing your micro-credentials. So if you see here, it's not symmetric. It's okay as long as it's mapped to the course outcome. So say for example, if you look into the first one, yeah? Selamat datang ke jenis-jenis litar elektrik. So what do you see? Content. Okay? You don't see slides. You can, if you want to. In the long run, you can. But then, okay. And then it provides some activity. It's interesting. Okay? But if you want to run away from all these words, what do? You use some video explainers. So you can use this. Right, so this is supposed to be Rahmat here. It's not there. Okay. Right, make it interesting, make it colorful so that it is attractive to the students or the potential learners out there, yeah? Okay. Oh, where is it? Here comes the activity. Can you see that? Learn. Read. And then later on, oh, there's a learning activity. Okay, then you look at it, participate. This is how the online learners are going to deal with your micro-credential course. Some of them are going to be there at 7:30 learning your course. Some of them is going to be like, 3 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, it's up to them. It's okay. It's flexible. But all of them are on the same page. They're also participating in the learning activities. Okay, so complete that with some assessment. A very, very, very easy one. Okay, so you can do this. Okay, Rita Electric adalah, okay, what's that? Arus, lampu, jaringan. Okay, this is all in Malay. You can always put in something and then you are going to check your answers. So this is actually the mini quiz or assessment that you can actually use later on. Yeah. Okay. So all of you are welcome, so much welcome to venture or at least enroll yourself into the courses. Okay, to get some ideas. All right. So we have about 7 minutes before we end our coffee talk. Do you have any question? Okay, why are we looking to this? Yes. Okay. So this is the time where you can ask. Do you have anything to ask? Or do you have anything to share? Sorry. okay, while waiting. So I would like to just share with you some of the references essential for us to understand what micro-credential is would be the guidelines to the good practices by MQA in 2020. They talk about what is micro-credential, the types. Basically, I've already informed you, yeah? Recently, last year, we also have this standalone micro-credentials, but it's more the discussion of having to do a quality verification. So because remember, it's standalone. And then when it comes to standalone, we offer so much of flexibility and it is not part of the conventional program. It's more to competent as well as upskilling purpose. So that's reason why we have, we call it the quality verification centers. Okay, so already some of the IPTAs have already picked up, okay, to become the centers. And then if we do have a standalone micro credential, then we have to go through them to get certified. Yeah. All right. So that's it. Coming from me. If you don't have any questions, so I'm very, very, very pleased and happy to just show you this. Okay, so if you need to know more on micro credential and if you think that you want to know how you can become a course developer, please contact us at KFL. But this one is part under the special unit. We have the digital learning unit and the head would be Mr. Rahmat. And we have the executive dedicated for this. We have Miss Azmira. Okay, and I'm going to share with you this particular presentation. And then I'm going to just, okay, sign off for the next Espresso Insight session. So yeah, you don't have any question? Okay. So already we are going to share with
Dr.
you the videos,
Jahana,
yeah?
can I just
Hello.
Wahida here. Dr.
Good
Jahana, can I
morning. Wait,
ask?
wait, 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 wait. Okay. Yes?
Yeah, I just wanna ask. I used to do this mini series of talk on certain topics, which is not really technical at all, but quite substantial for our researcher semua tu lah.
Mm-mm.
So, can I design in such a way that I have all these little mini series talks into something like,
Into a micro credential.
yeah, because of when I
Yes.
saw your, data, what was that? Data structure analysis. So you have this MC1, MC2, and MC3.
Oh,
So I
yes.
was thinking, can I basically convert all my mini talk series
Mm-mm.
into that MC1 and MC2, MC3,
For
and
sure.
then make it sort of like, I don't know what's the main topic will be as a whole. You got what I mean?
Yes, yes. So you are going to work backwards, basically.
Yeah, so I will start from the small little talks that I have
Mm-mm.
into MC1 and then MC2,
Yes, yes,
MC3.
yes. That's the idea.
Mm.
You could. So
Boleh kan?
you want to discuss this? Okay. So
Yeah,
just bring your coffee along.
can I basically, yeah, I mean, what's the best way? Can you come to my college or I
Your
have,
college is at CCI at the library, right?
yes.
We're just a few minutes away. Sure.
Yeah,
Just get
yeah.
me a room and get me a get me some coffee.
Well, I
I'll be
can
there.
offer you a cappuccino instead.
Oh, thank you. We're gonna have cappuccino talk. Okay, so that's great. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I
just
think
reach out to me.
I
Yeah.
think I have few of our colleagues here would like to,
Sure, sure, sure.
yeah,
Oh
on whatever
yes,
talk that we had before.
you can get the big meeting room at your level 6. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
we do. We
Yeah.
do. That's
I'll
not a
be there.
problem at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll make another arrangement.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Wahida.
No problem,
So
Dr.
cool.
Jana.
That's
Thank
cool.
you.
You have already something, but you don't know how to get them together. So that is actually when we come in. Yep. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank
All
you.
right. So any more who wish to see how you can potentially have a micro credential. Yeah, I put there the the topic. Sorry, the topic, the how, the how. Okay, most of them are going to be online. Dr. Wahida has already a few series of small talks, not really small talks, yeah, some meaningful talks, and then you're going to combine them and become one micro credential. Yeah, pretty much easy to be completed. How about the rest? Do you have anything you want to ask, or should we adjourn our coffee? Okay, the coffee is getting cold anyway. Yeah. So I just post this. So if you do have anything, okay, please reach to us. So we work as a team at KFL. We have the LU. So this particular unit will be looking into your micro credential. Okay, so very much like to sign off for today. For CO Ian, you're going to continue with your cleaning day, right? So that's all from me for the coffee talk. Thank you very much. See you again in the next session. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and have a nice day. Ta-da.